I should be writing number 447.
Well, I should be writing. I should be working on my craft. I should be writing. I should be submitting my next draft. But I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who.
Hi there, welcome to I Should Be Writing, the podcast for wannabe fiction writers. I'm your host, Mur Lafferty, and it is getting a little crazy around here, which is why I missed podcast yesterday, and I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm going to be talking fast. It is October 31st, it is Halloween, it is my wedding anniversary, and it is the day before NaNoWriMo, so if you are preparing, you might want to be making sure your outline is good, or you could be like me and still can't decide between two books that you want to write, because, you know, I can't help but make things hard for myself. I have good news and bad news about For the Words. One thing was cool is they have they now have a endurance thing, which allows you to write for a while, but if you stop too much in a time period, you start losing health. I don't know what happens when you lose all your health. I don't want to know what happens. It might be like the write or die kind of, if you pause too long, it starts deleting your words. But I don't know. I just tried a 5-minute sprint, and it was kind of helpful. The bad news about For the Words is I tried to connect to a coffee shop Wi-Fi and failed. Then I tethered to my phone until it died. So my computer thought it was online, but it wasn't. And then I went home and tried to connect at home, and that made my browser crash. And so I lost everything I wrote between my phone losing its power to coming home. So that was a little angry making. That is the downside of writing in somebody else's application instead of your own. Of course, your applications can crash too, but Scrivener, I think, saves every couple of seconds or something, and you can have it automatically back up into Dropbox, which I also do. I didn't talk about all the awesomeness of Scrivener last night when I sent a message out to all the Patreon people about my the things I'm getting to prep for NaNoWriMo. But one thing that is great about Scrivener is the backup feature. So I did have one question about Antagonist that I wanted to get to. Let me find it. Okay, so far in my nano plotting, I've assumed the book would be a single POV, but I've started thinking about putting in the Antagonist POV as well. Knowing what she's up to could build suspense when my protagonist is going about his daily life, thinking he's fooled the powers that be. I'm worried that bringing a second POV will take too much time away from the actual protagonist. After all, I can't wait until I'm several chapters in to randomly add a whole new POV character. Am I overthinking this? Is there a third option I'm missing? Multiple POVs is not a problem. Maybe you can bring it in earlier, but you could also just write the book, throw in POVs when it feels right, and fix it on edits. I just realized that I'm going to have to move a lot of my book around because I've introduced people a little late. The action slows, and I don't think I'm going to need to change a whole lot of the action, but the pacing, when things happen, when people are introduced, is going to have to change. So that's something you can worry about on edit. So just write, and if it feels like, hey, an Antagonist POV could be really cool right here, put it in. Why not? It's NaNoWriMo. Who cares? This is when you're just supposed to write and not worry about anything else. So don't worry about whether or not it's good to have the POV. Worry about the words you have to write. And if putting an Antagonist POV in there are words that you could write that day, then write those words. If this wasn't NaNoWriMo, I would suggest you read Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin, who goes through many, many, many points of view. And later on in the series, you get points of view from various antagonists, including Jaime Lannister. And I think antagonist POVs are great because they show more facets to a person than the point of view of the main character, of the protagonist. So that's it. I must go. I will talk to you guys tomorrow at NaNoWriMo time. If you're the kind of person that stays up until midnight just to get started, good luck. And those of you in Europe, you're going to be starting probably before I get up tomorrow. So good luck to you too. And everybody else, you should be writing.
Remember, you can support the show at patreon.com/mightymur. I Should Be Writing theme music provided by John Anelio. You can find more about him at johnanelio.com. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike license.
But I should